Intel shares are much lower right now. The company beat expectations for the fifth straight quarter. Strong, you guessed it, AI demand across PCs and data centers. But here's the problem. Stock's down 13%. First quarter guidance came in light in part due to supply constraints. But that kind of sounds like a good problem. Let's try to solve it. Vivek Arya is Bank of America Securities Senior Semiconductor Analyst. Vivek, stock's doubled in a couple of months. It's down 13% right now. Not having enough of what customers want sounds kind of like a good thing. How do you read the Intel story based on the earnings last night?
Good morning. I think with Intel, there is a promise and then there is a reality. And the reality is that their manufacturing execution, their product pipeline, I think are just not keeping pace with where the industry is going. I mean, we admire their desire to create a high-end manufacturing expertise in the United States and to establish a beachhead in AI. But trying to outcompete Taiwan Semiconductor, which is a leader in manufacturing, and to outcompete the AMDs and the Nvidias of the world while keeping expenses flat to down, I think it's just a very, very difficult task. So as you mentioned, in the near term, it's kind of a good problem to have that demand is outpacing supply. But we do think that their competitors who have better prepared for this demand, such as the Nvidias and the AMDs of the world, I think are just much better positioned. And then the stock itself, I think, has run up well ahead of where the company's ability is to deliver on these expectations. It's probably going to take 2 or 3 more years, I think, to execute this turnaround.
So do we sell the stock? We own it? Doesn't say, clearly you're saying don't buy it.
Yeah, we have an underperform rating on the stock. We have a $40 price objective. We see no reason to buy a stock trading at 90 times price to earnings when the leader of the market, Nvidia, is trading at 24, 25 times. With a very
what happened, Vivek? Why was everybody buying Intel? What changed in the story that the stock doubled in a couple of months?
Absolutely. I think in the last year, we have seen just a tremendous demand for leading edge manufacturing. There's only one company that can supply that, that is Taiwan Semiconductor. And that has created a lot of scarcity value in high-end manufacturing. And the other choices that the industry has are either Intel and Samsung. So I think the stock ran up in anticipation that Intel would be able to create a competitor to Taiwan Semi. But the reality is that Intel's own manufacturing for their own products, the manufacturing yields are behind their own expectations, and it will probably take some time until 2028 to make all this promise a reality. So I do think there is optionality, and the kind of ran in anticipation of that kind of optionality and that promise. But in the here and now is that it is going to take a long time.
Vivek, quickly. I don't know if you've seen this news about Nvidia and reports out of China that tech companies there may get the green light to start buying H200 chips with some conditions in place. How meaningful is that to Nvidia, especially if China's not necessarily factored into the outlook?
Sure, Morgan. I think that, as you pointed out, anything they get from China is an incremental positive. But the thing to keep in mind is that Nvidia's top line this year would be over $300 billion. And the entire China market is $50 billion. And even if they were to get a percentage of that, it is incremental to their business. What's hard to know is, what shape does this approval take in the next year and the following year. So how durable is this level of growth? So, it's an incremental positive. I think more important than that, it's good that U.S. companies are engaging with China. And because, Chinese software community is just incredibly innovative with the likes of DeepSeek and others. So we always like the fact that the two industries are engaging with each other. And it is good for Nvidia, it's good for AMD, it is good for a lot of the semi-cap equipment companies that supply to China.